Module 11, discussion. Module 9. I did question 1, 2, and 3. Citing the text in your own personal experience. Discuss what it means to be healthy in your culture. I think in my culture, to be healthy, working out, being fit, the big muscles, I feel like Black culture, when they say somebody is thick, things like that, they're meaning like they're good, they're healthy, etc. Afghanistan, to be healthy, I think them walking places a lot more than like here in America where we drive. Eating right. They're more so covered up, so you can't really tell people's body shapes by them being covered, but yeah. Question 2, what is the role of tourism in your culture? What is the role of tourism in the culture you're studying? Tourism, from Kansas City, so I think if anybody knows anything about Kansas City or anybody that lives there, the biggest thing is the Chiefs Stadium, and Gates Barbecue. Those are like places people go. They're really big, especially Gates Barbecue. It's supposed to be like best barbecue, so when people go there, they're like, oh, I want to try that place. And, I think in my culture it is exploring the foods that we eat, artists, I cannot speak today, guys. In Afghanistan, tourism, it says I had it. I was reading it. Okay. In Afghanistan, they have a national park, and that's like where a lot of people like to visit when they go there. They have a zoo, a museum. Moscow. I don't know if I'm saying that right. These are just some places that are, when people go to tour in Afghanistan, they like to go and see. The really popular Gardens of Barber. It's almost, I'll show you and see what it looks like. The picture. I can actually show you guys. Hold on. So that place, it's almost like the Great Wall of China, but one in Afghanistan. That is a very popular place that people like to go visit. What are the impacts of tourism on your culture and the culture you're studying? The impacts in my culture, I think that people will go see, not necessarily just Kansas City, but like if you go down south, a lot of people visit like where the slaves and stuff were kept, and people find names. I actually have a friend, it's like my girlfriend's aunt. She actually has a nonprofit group called All of Us or None of Us in Spokane. They went and they toured. They went out of town and they toured where slave stuff were kept, and she actually found her son's grandpa's name on one of the, it's like plaques, wooden things. I think that's something that would be a big thing that people go to see. In Afghanistan, it looks like their national museum is pretty big, and the Gardens of Bar that I showed you guys, that's another place. How I think the author would respond. I think the author would say that seeing those places would definitely change your mind about some things, more insight, have an open mind when going into these places. Question number 3, are texts identified as tourism, health and healthcare, and law enforcement as contact in which interactional communication occurs with the cultures? So health and healthcare is 9.2. There's different factors that the author had talked about of being healthy. Biological and genetics, individual behavior, social environment, physical environment, health services. He talked about your body, your mind. He says, what does it mean to be healthy to you? It's absent of disease or perhaps the ability to do what you want without being held back by your body or mind. Let's take the common headache, for example. You've had head hurts, so what do? Do you turn to a friend, share your pain? Do you take a bottle of the shelf and take a pill? Do you go to a doctor? Each option reflects your culture and it involves how you perceive your health as well as how to make it better and eliminate headaches. Let me talk about the health part first before I go into the law part. In my culture, I think we don't really go to the doctors as much as we probably should or would like to. In our culture, it's not very, I'm trying to think of the words I'm looking for, open. They're not as nice to colored people in hospitals, ERs, etc. I actually have a little story to that. I was sick in October. My throat was completely closed on one side. Swallowing water hurt. I couldn't breathe. It was really bad. I went to the emergency room like 8 o'clock in the morning. I just couldn't do it anymore. The nurse there was just horrible, treating me so bad, told me gargle salt water. I was there for almost 2 hours. Didn't give me anything. I was there like a week prior to that. Somebody had assaulted me and I was hit with something, so I was there. She was asking me why and when's the last time I've been to the hospital. She was pretty much treating me like I was trying to squirt drugs. So I think that's part of my culture why we don't really take care of our health as much as we should. We had a lot of people go down with heart attacks, etc. I do have chronic migraines, so I do have prescribed medicine that I have to take for them when they get really bad. If I'm out, it is over-the-counter stuff that I take, ibuprofen, but it's not helps. It's really bad. Light hurts, all that. And I think it would be interesting to learn about the health in like Hawaii, Mexico, places like that, because I know that a lot of Hawaiians, they like to do, even China, Asia, any of those places, they're all about home remedies, not trying to take medicine. So they're trying to do more spiritual things, letting your body kind of heal itself, praying. I think Black culture does that too, praying. In Afghanistan, in Afghanistan, they're in Afghanistan, I think that they kind of try to just heal too on their own. They do go to doctors. I think they do. I think it's more so home visits, things like that. I think they struggle more so with getting as much help as we have access to here in America than they do. The law enforcement part of the question. It says, you may have heard of the phrase, when in Rome, do the Romans do, meaning that one should be behave and observe the customs of people in the homeland. As a visitor, you don't have to participate in every activity, but you do have to respect the local customs and laws. So I think in my culture, it's the law's not really too much on our side, not too fair. You watch the news, you watch the world, you know. So even if we do right, do something, I mean, it's bound to go south. I think it would have been cool if you would have been able to touch a little bit on that, the Black culture, down south, how it is. If he would have touched on kind of more, sorry guys, he would have touched more on, I guess, foreign countries more. That would have been great to learn more about that. In Afghanistan, how the law is, what I had read, it's a lot different down there than up here. My hair's not covered, my arms are out, my legs can be out. We're more free here in Afghanistan. Women have to be more covered up. They don't get to be as free. In America, it's men equal rights. There, it's more men are more in charge than here. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. They have a lot more rules than we do. We have a lot more freedom, I think, when it comes to the law than they do. But that's just their culture. Our cultures are different, and yeah.